Today, we're exploring the key ideas from Raising Girls Who Like Themselves by Kasey Edwards. This is an independent educational overview enriched with our own integrative analysis and actionable exercises. Think of it as a guided reflection to spark your own insights, not a replacement for reading the book itself. The journey of guiding a girl toward a deep and abiding self-love is arguably the most vital endeavor for any parent. When a young woman genuinely likes and accepts herself, she builds an unshakable foundation that underpins her entire existence. This inner security empowers her to confidently pursue her passions, prioritize her mental and physical well-being, cultivate truly healthy relationships, and experience a profound sense of joy and belonging. In a world that often sends conflicting messages about a girl's worth, such an internal compass becomes an invaluable asset, enabling her to navigate challenges with resilience and grace. This comprehensive guide illuminates the pathways to nurturing this essential self-acceptance, offering actionable insights grounded in evidence. It moves beyond superficial notions of confidence, delving into the core attributes that allow a girl to thrive authentically. By shifting parental perspectives and implementing specific strategies, families can create an environment where a girl's inherent potential is recognized, supported, and allowed to flourish. The overarching message is clear. The most significant gift a parent can bestow is the unwavering belief in their daughter's unique and valuable self, fostering an internal landscape where she can confidently say, "I like myself." Fostering an indomitable spirit, the cultivation of inner agency and resilience. A girl's capacity to navigate the world with strength and optimism hinges significantly on her understanding of personal agency, the belief that she holds the power to influence her own life. This power perspective is a fundamental lens through which she interprets experiences, whether triumph or setback. It stands in stark contrast to an external orientation, where one feels controlled by luck, fate, or the dictates of others. Cultivating this internal sense of control is paramount for a fulfilling life. It underpins optimism, bolsters resilience, and correlates with greater overall success and well-being. A girl who believes in her capacity to act is more likely to pursue goals with tenacity, seeing obstacles not as insurmountable walls, but as temporary detours. This powerful mindset is not an innate trait, but a skill that can be meticulously honed from an early age. It involves a conscious choice of focus and interpretation. For instance, rather than dwelling on a missed opportunity at school, a girl can be encouraged to consider the alternative paths available or the lessons learned. A simple daily practice, like reflecting on what went well, where she identifies 3 positive events and her role in making them happen, can steadily shift her outlook from passive observation to active participation in her own good fortune. When offering praise, it becomes essential to pivot from external validation to internal satisfaction. Instead of merely saying, "That painting is wonderful," asking, "Do you like your painting?" empowers her to trust her own judgment and find worth in her creative process, independent of others' opinions. Another critical element is de-escalating the tendency to catastrophize. Young girls, and indeed many adults, often fall into the trap of using absolute language like always, never, or worst, which inflate minor setbacks into overwhelming crises. When a child exclaims, "This is the worst drawing ever," parents can gently reframe it. "It seems like this part isn't exactly how you wanted it right now, but you can always try a different approach, or move on to a new one." This teaches her that challenges are often temporary and specific, not universal and permanent, thus preserving her sense of agency and potential for change. Emphasizing action over passive wishing is equally vital. Achieving a goal, whether it's building a complex Lego structure or mastering a new skill, is framed as the result of effort and planning, not simply hoping for a favorable outcome. Similarly, encouraging direct requests for needs rather than passive hinting fosters a proactive approach to problem solving, like a girl explicitly asking a friend to return a borrowed toy rather than silently fuming. Navigating the minefield of external judgment is an ongoing lesson. While empathy and consideration are important, a girl's self-worth should never be solely contingent on external approval. When facing unconstructive criticism, particularly from peers, simple analogies can be powerful tools. For a younger child, explaining that if someone says you're a giraffe, does that make it true, helps them understand that an opinion doesn't alter reality. For older girls, teaching them to select a small inner circle of trusted individuals whose constructive feedback they genuinely value, while respectfully disregarding other unhelpful negativity, provides a robust filter against pervasive social pressures. This foundation of internal agency leads directly to the cultivation of independence and mastery. True self-esteem does not emerge from empty flattery, but from the tangible experience of overcoming challenges and achieving goals through personal effort. The instinct to label children as awesome indiscriminately, while well-intentioned, often fails to build genuine self-worth. Instead, a girl's confidence blossoms from her own actions, learning to tie her shoes, completing a challenging puzzle, or mastering a new gymnastics move through persistence. This hard-won sense of accomplishment is an internal reward that cannot be manufactured or gifted. It must be earned through struggle and eventual success. A core principle for fostering this mastery is to only do for her what she cannot do for herself. This means encouraging responsibility in age-appropriate tasks, even if it's more efficient for a parent to step in. Letting a girl pack her own school bag, choose her outfit within reason, or even manage a small personal budget allows her to build competence and autonomy. Allowing her to speak for herself, whether ordering her own meal, articulating a preference to a teacher, or explaining a minor ailment to a doctor, develops self-belief and valuable social skills, teaching her that her voice carries weight. Conversely, constantly intervening or rescuing her from minor difficulties deprives her of the opportunity to develop self-reliance and the intrinsic satisfaction of independent achievement. Crucially, frustration and failure are not impediments but invaluable catalysts for growth. In a world where many children fear making mistakes, it's vital to reframe failure not as a personal flaw but as essential feedback. Allowing a girl to make a mess while learning to bake or to mismanage a small project, and then supporting her to learn from the outcome, builds resilience against perfectionism. Perfectionism, though it might appear as a positive trait, often masks deep-seated insecurity and anxiety. Emphasizing that failing is an action, a stepping stone to improvement, rather than being a failure, helps her develop a robust sense of self that can withstand setbacks. When success does arrive, she should be encouraged to own her accomplishments, attributing them to her hard work and talent rather than false modesty or luck. This stands in stark contrast to the myth of constant comparison and competition, which often undermines self-esteem by creating an external, conditional sense of worth. Instead, the focus shifts to intrinsic motivation, celebrating individual progress and the collaborative spirit of shared learning. Ultimately, the journey of raising an independent, masterful girl is a gradual, often bittersweet process of parental letting go, empowering her to confidently chart her own course, knowing she has the internal tools to thrive. Embracing authenticity, building a foundation of self-acceptance and bodily autonomy. At the heart of a girl's self-love lies her relationship with her own body and her authentic self. Unfortunately, societal pressures, often internalized through casual adult conversations or media portrayals, frequently teach girls to be dissatisfied with their bodies from a remarkably young age. This learned body dissatisfaction is not innate. It's absorbed from fat chat, discussions about weight or appearance, and constant compliments focusing solely on physical beauty. These influences are far from trivial. They contribute to serious issues like eating disorders and significantly impact a girl's mental health and self-esteem. True body confidence isn't about adoring every curve or feature, nor is it about chasing an impossible beauty ideal. Instead, it's about trusting her body's functions and not excessively fixating on external appearance. It emphasizes what the body does, how it allows her to run, dance, think, and explore, rather than merely how it looks. Constantly praising a girl for her beauty, for example, can inadvertently signal that her appearance is her most valuable asset, potentially leading to anxiety if she feels she doesn't measure up. Parents play a crucial role in shifting this narrative from appearance to ability, health, and character. Policing a daughter's appetite or weight is counterproductive, as research consistently links weight shaming to poorer health outcomes. The focus should instead be on wellness, promoting a balanced lifestyle that includes enjoyable physical activity and nourishing foods, without obsessing over the number on a scale or BMI, which are often poor indicators of individual health. To counteract negative appearance-based comments, parents can employ strategies like diluting, redirecting, and modeling (DRM). This involves briefly acknowledging an appearance comment, "Yes, that's a pretty dress," but immediately highlighting another quality, "And you were so kind to your friend today," diluting. Changing the subject entirely, "Did you have fun at the park?" redirecting. And, most importantly, refraining from making any appearance-based comments about anyone in front of children, modeling. Cultivating a healthy relationship with food means trusting a child's natural hunger cues, the principle of parents provide, children decide, regarding what and when to eat within a healthy framework. Avoiding good or bad food labels, instead using terms like everyday foods and sometimes foods, removes moral judgment from eating, preventing unhealthy behaviors like secret eating. Exercise should be promoted as a joyful way to strengthen the body and mind, never as a punishment for eating or a means to fix perceived physical flaws. Above all, a girl needs her home to be a sanctuary where she feels unconditionally loved and valued, irrespective of her physical form. This sense of body confidence is intrinsically linked to body autonomy, the understanding that she, and only she, owns her body and has the right to make decisions about it. Girls often receive subtle societal messages that their bodies exist for others' appraisal, leading to a focus on external validation. Fostering autonomy starts with seemingly small choices. When a daughter expresses a desire for temporary changes in appearance, like wearing a particular outfit, trying a new hairstyle, or even temporary hair dye, parents can apply the not harmful and not permanent rule. If it won't cause lasting physical harm or irreversible change, she should be allowed to decide, even if it doesn't align with parental preferences. The crucial caveat here is to ensure such choices aren't driven by external pressure or bullying, which could be psychologically harmful if it teaches her she needs to fix herself to please others. A critical component of body autonomy involves a girl's right to control who touches her and how. Forcing a child to hug or kiss relatives, even with the best intentions, inadvertently teaches her to override her own comfort for the sake of adult pleasing. This can set a dangerous precedent, making it harder to assert boundaries later in life. Parents must unequivocally teach and model that no always means no. Practical alternatives, like a high-five policy or offering a handshake, empower children to politely decline unwanted physical contact while still acknowledging others, reinforcing that their personal boundaries are respected. Body literacy is also fundamental. Using correct anatomical terms for all body parts, including genitals, rather than euphemisms, demystifies and deshames these areas. Openly discussing female anatomy, perhaps with age-appropriate illustrations, not only builds self-acceptance, but also enhances safety, as clear language enables a child to articulate if abuse occurs. Similarly, a child's natural self-exploration, masturbation, should be met with education, not shame. It's normal and healthy. The focus should be on teaching appropriate time and place rules for privacy, fostering a healthy relationship with her body without guilt. Parental modeling further reinforces autonomy. Consistently respecting a child's stop during tickle fights, for example, teaches them that their boundaries are respected within a safe family context. Finally, a girl who truly likes herself is simply herself, not a sculpted ideal. This concept is encapsulated in the seed parenting approach, where parents view their child as a unique seed with inherent potential, providing nurturing conditions for authentic growth. This contrasts sharply with stone parenting, which attempts to chisel a child into a predefined image. While both stem from love, seed parenting empowers a girl to discover and embrace her true self. Instead of corrective parenting, which fixates on weaknesses, a strength-based approach focuses on a girl's sparks, her natural talents, interests, and passions. Nurturing these strengths builds genuine happiness, engagement, and resilience, defining her by what she can do rather than her perceived shortcomings. This makes her more robust when addressing areas for improvement. It's vital not to confuse a skill, like reluctantly practicing piano, with a true strength, something she genuinely loves and chooses to do. The pervasive good girl syndrome is a major impediment to authenticity, leading girls to prioritize compliance, sweetness, and self-sacrifice, often at the expense of her own well-being. Good girls people please, repress emotions, and fear disagreement, leading to shame and stunted emotional intelligence. To raise a real girl, parents must encourage direct communication, teaching her to clearly ask for what she wants. She also needs to learn to confidently say yes to compliments or help and no to unwanted requests without guilt. Validating her full spectrum of emotions, including anger or frustration, is crucial. Instead of distracting her, comfort her and help her process these feelings, teaching coping skills while setting boundaries on how they are expressed. Unconditional love means separating behavior from intrinsic worth. I don't like your behavior, but I love you, assuring her that love isn't conditional on perfection. Teaching assertive communication, like "stop it, I don't like it," empowers her to set boundaries. Lastly, redefine sharing. She should have agency over what is exclusively hers, balancing generosity with self-respect. Parents must honestly accept the unique child they have, not the one they might have wished for, allowing her authentic self to shine. Cultivating a sanctuary for growth, the power, the calm, and connection. Creating an optimal environment for a girl's self-development necessitates a thoughtful balance between external demands and internal well-being. Modern parenting often falls prey to an endless self-improvement boot camp mentality, where children are overscheduled with extracurricular activities and academic pressures. This intense pace, often driven by parental anxiety, leaves little room for spontaneity and creates widespread exhaustion and stress, ironically hindering rather than helping genuine growth. A girl who truly likes herself is not perpetually overtired or overextended. She is calm, possessing the time and space to simply be a child, not merely a learning machine. A significant casualty of this overscheduling is play. True play is free, spontaneous, and child-led, pursued solely for its intrinsic enjoyment without external goals. It's during these unstructured moments that children experience flow, becoming fully absorbed and losing track of time. Play is foundational for development. fostering creativity, problem-solving, emotional regulation, and social skills. It's how children discover their identity and passions, preparing their brains for formal learning far more effectively than endless structured activities. For instance, allowing a girl to build an imaginary world in her backyard using only natural materials without adult direction provides far richer developmental benefits than a rigidly structured coding class might for a young child. Similarly, the benefits of extensive tutoring and homework for young children are frequently overestimated. While targeted tutoring can address specific learning difficulties, its widespread use often stems from a fear of children falling behind, escalating into an academic arms race. Research suggests that for primary schoolers, tutoring offers limited academic gains and can foster dependency, stress, and a dislike for self-directed learning. Homework for young children also shows negligible academic benefits and can strain family life. The crucial exception is reading for pleasure, which profoundly boosts academic performance, mental health, vocabulary, and parent-child bonding. Encouraging a girl to choose her own books, whether graphic novels or fantasy epics, and modeling reading for enjoyment rather than assigning tedious book reports fosters a lifelong love of learning. The debate around screen time often prompts further overscheduling as parents seek to fill every moment to keep children off devices. However, the direct causal links between screen use and specific harms, like obesity or cognitive decline, are often weaker than perceived. The critical factors are the content of screen use, educational apps versus passive scrolling, and whether it displaces essential activities like sleep, exercise, and social interaction. Parents should focus on responsible screen management through supervision and digital diets, rather than allowing fear of screens to justify sleep-depriving schedules. For instance, rather than banning screens outright, a family might designate screen-free zones and times while still allowing a girl to use an educational app that genuinely engages her for a set period. The most foundational and undeniable element of a child's well-being is sleep. It is indispensable for every facet of physical and mental health, concentration, learning, and emotional regulation. Overscheduling is a primary culprit in compromising sleep, leaving children irritable, anxious, and struggling academically. Ensuring consistent 9 to 11 hours of sleep for primary schoolers and 8 to 10 hours for secondary schoolers requires prioritizing consistent bedtime routines, including screen-free wind-down time. This is not about rigid inflexibility, but recognizing sleep as a modifiable skill that directly translates to calmer, happier children and more harmonious family dynamics. A consistent ritual, like reading together before bed, provides a predictable anchor in a busy life. Alongside a calm home environment, strong relationships are fundamental to a girl's well-being, academic success, and future happiness. Secure, respectful friendships are linked to greater confidence and reduced anxiety. Social skills are not instinctive; they must be explicitly taught and practiced. Basic skills like maintaining eye contact, offering a friendly smile, and remembering people's names are critical first steps in forming positive connections. The art of conversation involves actively asking questions to show interest, genuinely listening to responses, and taking turns in dialogue. Equally important is teaching girls to confidently express their own ideas and opinions, not just to passively absorb. Girls often mistakenly believe they must share every interest with friends or spend all their time together. It's vital to teach them that friends can have diverse interests, and it's healthy to have different friends for different activities, or even to enjoy solitary play. The emphasis should be on choosing quality friends who uplift them and like them for who they are, fostering a sense of belonging rather than just superficially fitting in. A good friend is characterized by kindness, respect, trustworthiness, and the willingness to listen and stand up for them. Conflict resolution is an essential life skill. For minor unkindness, Teaching quick comebacks, assertive, non-blaming phrases delivered with confidence, followed by walking away, empowers a girl without escalating conflict. For deeper disagreements, the "when I feel" technique encourages calm expression of what happened and its impact, followed by active listening. Parents should coach their daughters through these situations, intervening directly only in cases of genuine bullying, which involves deliberate and repeated harm. If a child is bullying, addressing the root cause and fostering empathy is crucial. Beyond peer relationships, cultivating a support crew of trusted adults, grandparents, aunts, coaches, teachers provides alternative sources of wisdom and support, especially as girls navigate adolescence and may feel less inclined to confide solely in parents. These mentors offer diverse perspectives and reinforce the message of unconditional support. Crucially, these adults should be prepared to keep a child's confidence, even from parents, to ensure the child feels truly safe to open up about difficult topics. Finally, strengthening the parent-daughter relationship is paramount. Rather than focusing on material gifts, foster deep connection through active and constructive responses to her good news and achievements. This means stopping what you're doing, making eye contact, smiling, and asking engaging follow-up questions, demonstrating genuine interest in her inner world. Fathers, in particular, can significantly impact their daughters by engaging in school activities or shared interests, providing invaluable connection and insight into her social and academic spheres. This active engagement creates a supportive framework where a girl feels seen, heard, and deeply valued. Integrative Analysis and Implications. The core message woven through these principles is the transformative power of self-love and self-acceptance in a girl's life. This isn't about vanity or superficial confidence, but about cultivating a profound internal compass that guides her through a complex world. The strategies presented, while diverse, converge on a single vital objective: empowering a girl to own her identity, her body, and her narrative. Parents emerge as the pivotal architects of this inner world, serving as both a safe haven and a beacon. As a safe haven, the home environment must offer unconditional love, where a girl's worth is never tied to her achievements, appearance, or compliance. This sanctuary allows her to explore, make mistakes, express her full range of emotions, and assert her autonomy without fear of judgment or withdrawal of affection. It's in this space that her authentic self, her unique spark, can truly ignite and flourish. As a beacon, parents illuminate the path toward resilience and agency. By explicitly teaching a power perspective, they equip her with the tools to navigate challenges, understand setbacks as learning opportunities, and pursue her goals with tenacity. Encouraging mastery and independence, allowing her to speak for herself, and celebrating her effort over mere outcome, instills the invaluable lesson that true self-worth is earned through personal growth and competence, not external validation. This means consciously stepping back, letting her grapple with frustration, and trusting her capacity to learn and adapt. The emphasis on body autonomy and a healthy self-image is particularly crucial in a world saturated with unrealistic ideals. By reframing the body as a vessel for experience and function, and by rigorously upholding her right to consent and control over her own physical self, parents dismantle harmful societal narratives. This includes open, honest discussions about her body, validating her emotions, and empowering her to set boundaries, thereby fostering a deep sense of self-respect. Creating a calm, connected environment is the fertile ground for these qualities to take root. Prioritizing sleep, genuine play, and meaningful relationships over relentless scheduling protects her mental and physical health, allowing her mind and spirit to develop organically. Nurturing strong social skills and a network of trusted adults ensures she has diverse support systems to lean on as she grows. Ultimately, this comprehensive approach requires parents to look beyond their own expectations and wholeheartedly embrace the unique child they have, rather than the one they might have envisioned. It demands consistency, modeling the behaviors and attitudes they wish to see, and an unwavering commitment to communicating unconditional love. This isn't merely about raising happy children. It's about fostering resilient, self-aware young women who are equipped with the inner resources to face life's complexities with confidence, integrity, and profound joy, always knowing they are loved for precisely who they are. The legacy of such parenting is not a perfectly sculpted child, but a vibrant, authentic individual poised to live a life rich in purpose and self-acceptance. Actionable exercises. 1. Cultivate your power perspective daily. Help your daughter understand that she has the power to shape her experiences and reactions. Begin a daily ritual called My Power Moments with her. Each evening, invite her to share 3 things that went well during her day, no matter how small. Then, gently prompt her to identify her role in those positive events. Did her effort make a project successful? Did her kindness make a friend smile? Did her persistence help her overcome a challenge? This practice builds a strong sense of agency and optimism. Additionally, listen for absolute words like always or never when she describes problems, e.g., I always mess up. Help her reframe these statements by asking, is it always true, or did it happen this one time? What's one thing you could try next time? This teaches her that challenges are temporary and solvable, empowering her to see possibilities rather than limitations. 2. Champion body autonomy and boundaries. Empower your daughter to truly own her body by respecting her right to say no to unwanted physical contact. Introduce a high-five policy in your family. When relatives or friends ask for hugs or kisses, offer alternatives like a high five, a handshake, or a wave, explicitly stating she prefers a high five today. This teaches her that her comfort is paramount and she doesn't have to please others with her body. Practice this at home too. If she says stop during tickling or roughhousing, immediately cease. Model assertive communication by encouraging her to use phrases like, stop it, I don't like it, when someone is making her uncomfortable. This builds her confidence to set boundaries and speak up for herself, ensuring she feels safe and in control of her own body, a foundational skill for all relationships. 3. The unschedule for calm and play. Counteract the pressure of overscheduling by intentionally building white space into your daughter's week. Instead of adding another activity, look for opportunities to remove one, especially if it compromises her sleep or leads to exhaustion. Together, identify 1 or 2 evenings or a significant block of weekend time each week that is completely unscheduled. This is dedicated playtime, free, spontaneous, child-led exploration without external goals or parental direction. During these unscheduled periods, encourage activities that genuinely engage her and allow for flow, where she loses track of time. This might involve creative play, reading for pleasure, her choice of books, building, or simply daydreaming. Prioritize her sleep above all else. Establish a consistent, screen-free bedtime routine to ensure she gets 9 to 11 hours of sleep. A calm, well-rested child is a happier, more resilient child. 4. Foster mastery through managed mistakes. Shift from protecting your daughter from failure to embracing it as a powerful learning tool. Adopt the principle of only do for her what she can't do for herself. When she faces a task, resist the urge to step in and fix it or do it perfectly yourself. Let her attempt it, even if it's messy or takes longer, whether it's dressing herself, packing her bag, or solving a homework problem. When she makes a mistake or struggles, frame it as feedback rather than a flaw. Instead of saying, "You messed up," try, "That didn't quite work. What did you learn, and what could you try differently next time?" This helps her understand that effort and persistence lead to growth. Celebrate her efforts and the learning process, not just perfect outcomes. This builds genuine self-esteem from her own achievements and resilience in the face of setbacks. 5. Discover her sparks and nurture her true self. Become a seed parent by focusing on nurturing your daughter's unique essence rather than trying to sculpt her into a predefined ideal. Take time to observe what truly excites and energizes her. These are her sparks. Is it drawing, storytelling, building, caring for animals, helping others, solving puzzles, or something else entirely? A spark isn't necessarily a skill she's mastered, but an activity or interest she chooses willingly and loves. Once you identify a spark, actively provide resources and opportunities for her to explore it further, without judgment or pressure to excel. For example, if she loves storytelling, offer blank notebooks, suggest a visit to the library, or simply listen to her tales with genuine interest. Avoid criticizing perceived weaknesses or comparing her to others. By celebrating her authentic strengths and allowing her to express a full range of emotions, you reinforce that she is loved and valued for exactly who she is, fostering deep self-acceptance. That wraps up our exploration of today's book. If even one idea here gave you something to reflect on, give it a like so YouTube knows to share more with you. And if you'd like the next insight in your feed, hit subscribe. Remember, what you heard today is our independent interpretation, enriched with analysis and exercises. The full book has far more depth, so consider reading it to experience the author's work directly. Thanks for listening to DeftU Insights, where we turn great books into tools for growth.